So I wanted to do a little thing because there's been a conversation out there, and it started to trend the other day when Ben was lost for the season, because anytime there's a quarterback that goes down and you see sort of an unknown, relative unknown quarterback take his spot, the one name that's going to consistently crop up is Colin Kaepernick, right? Even though he's been out for 3 years now, that name is going to come up. And I get why. It's a very polarizing name. Some people want to hammer home the point about him being blackballed. But I want to give you a blind resume of quarterbacks. These are career numbers. And you would say, all right, if you had no idea about history of kneeling, political stances, whatever it was, which quarterback would you select to be your quarterback? When you look at this list of blind members, so all of them above 60% completion percentage, except for one. All of them pretty productive. There's one quarterback up there only 178 yards, another one at 178 yards per game. You might say, hey, they're a little bit limited in the passing game.
Yep.
Today's game, I would probably eliminate those two.
Probably
passer rating.
1 and 3 maybe?
Yeah, quarterback 1 of the blind resume, 63% completion percentage, 90 passer rating. I think it's very clearly 1 or 3.
I like the touchdown to interception ratio there for number 1.
Yeah, you're right. Quarterback 3 has a little bit higher there. So quarterback 1 or 3 are our guess.
Yeah.
So Marcus Mariota or James Winston would have been those 3. It's kind of funny because they haven't been that great. Colin Kaepernick was 5. We glossed over him probably because of the lack of passing yardage.
Right.
And also the completion percentage being under 60, which Daniel Jones or Eli Manning's going to get in the Hall of Fame wasn't above 60. And his touchdown to interception ratio is actually the best one out of this group. So I think you're making the case here. These other names that are in the same realm as far as statistically.
They're all starting.
They're all quarterbacks with starting jobs.
Yes.
Which begs the question, all right, where are we with Colin Kaepernick and why isn't he get signed?
Danny, he'll never play in the NFL again. Like, people need to wrap their mind around the fact that Colin Kaepernick is not going to play in the NFL again. You could speculate. We've been through that. We've done it before.
Do you think is it the number one reason blackballed? Like, are you saying the team will not get? Because I still hold out hope that he gets signed because of the issues that you're going there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as simple as saying he's blackballed, because I do think it comes to the question was, well, what would Colin Kaepernick take?
You took his stance. I mean, he took his stance. Mm-hmm. And I was fine with that. Like, I didn't have a problem. I supported that. It was good. It was fine. The awareness needed to be brought to things like that. But then the owners did whatever they did. And it became clear that none of them wanted to touch him for whether it was a distraction. I do not believe at all that it had anything to do with him just not being good enough, because you roll guys out like the list that we just put out there, and you can't support an argument that he's not better than some of those guys, right?
Right.
So for whatever political reason, it is your team, and it is your right to do that. But for that reason, he'll never play in the NFL again. It's been done. It's signed, sealed, delivered, handed into the jury. It's a wrap.
I still hold out hope that he gets an opportunity.
I do too. But hope is one thing. They've already told you. He's been out for how long now? 4 years?
3 years, yeah.
You don't get further removed from the game and then get called back.
He has been, it's been reported, he's been out working out every day, 5 days a week, so he's still in shape. It's been reported that his agent has reached out to a lot of teams. The only thing where I would say where you can't just simply say he's been blackballed is I do think it comes down to salary. I do think, because what I hate is when, I'm going to call out Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk, because every time a quarterback gets signed, he says, well, look at this scrub. He's getting signed and Colin Kaepernick isn't.
Right.
Those scrubs are making league minimum, which I don't think Colin Kaepernick would take, and I don't think he should take, because he's not a league minimum quarterback. They're scrubs, and they're guys we're making fun of for a reason. Colin Kaepernick is not in that category. I do think that adds a hurdle to get over for Colin Kaepernick to come back. I don't know. I still think there might be an owner that would take a chance. And I look at the Carolina Panthers, who, with Cam Newton, if he was gone for the season, I do think David Tepper is a hedge fund guy. He's a little bit more forward-thinking. Maybe he takes that opportunity and says, I don't care what anybody else says. I'll give him that shot. But if you're Colin Kaepernick, I think it becomes, what's the value? Because he's making a lot of money from Nike.
Right.
He's made a lot of money from his settlement, which he did get from the NFL because they did just want it to go away, so they paid him a large amount of money.
I heard a rumor, because the
a lot of it is rumors, which is going around. That's
about the settlement that and it's all speculation. I don't know. Well, I would ask you what you think about it. In the language of that, he had to agree, or there was some kind of language.
You wouldn't play again?
He wouldn't play again.
Wouldn't surprise me. He has not spoken on it.
Right. No.
He's taken some criticism from some of the there's different factions in the NFL of the movement of, players trying to promote social justice. There are some players that are reportedly mad at him that he wouldn't reveal his settlement. Because I think there's some players that would criticize him for being a sellout, for not really, taking it to the ninth. I have no problem with him. Hey, you get yours, why you can get it.
Yeah.
But there's some infighting with the players that are trying to get things achieved that sometimes you can't bend. You have to take the hardcore stance and take on the NFL.
You give up your livelihood to do it then.
Well, exactly. And that's what I would say anybody would criticize him with.
Right.
But it wouldn't surprise me at all if there was a settlement in there.
That's interesting. Again, I'm on record. I am a Colin Kaepernick fan.
Right.
But I'm also realistic. And, Danny, once you're 2 years removed, the first year, let's say you were too hot to touch.
Yep.
All right, too hot. Can't have the distraction.
Right.
All that. Second year comes out, and whether it was because you're refusing to take less money or it's just like a political thing, they didn't touch you. The third year removed, I'm like, yeah, it's not going to happen. Now I'm like, no, it's just not happening. And
right.
it's just the way it's going to be.
Well, then if it's not happening, let's stop talking about it. Because the only thing it does really is create more dissension, which our country does not need right now.
Yeah,
But I would love to see him get that shots, because I think in today's NFL, like the way they're utilizing Lamar Jackson, the way they're utilizing some of these players with a little bit of creative mind as an offensive coordinator, I think it could be fun.
Yep.
I would love to see him get that opportunity. If I was a betting man, I would say he doesn't play again. I would maybe take a long shot. If you gave me like 500 to 1 odds, I might take a shot at it, because I do think with injuries, we have seen attrition at the position.
Yeah.
Maybe a team gets desperate enough, they say, hell, who knows, we'll do it.